For he has great power, even greater than that of the Blue Man.
The Blue Man! Yes, the Blue Man!
And just as the Blue Man was offered up unto him, so shall be the unbelievers.
At the time, I was involved with a community theater lot, and they put out a call for anybody who wanted to come to a cattle call, and I went, and my daughter Jody went. She got cast as one of the children, and I got cast as the police officer. It was funny because she would get up in the morning before going to the calls, fix her hair and makes it all pretty. I says, you know, they're not going to want you to look pretty and nice for this. So she would go to the things, and then of course they would mess her hair up and make her dirty and everything. So it was kind of exciting, although we never really were in a scene together. I mean, when we shot our stuff here, the kids weren't anywhere around, just a few that were going to slash my throat. But the majority of the kids weren't in the scenes. And then the one at the church, I don't believe Jody was there that day either. She was there when they shot the interiors of the church, but not the exteriors. I remember when they called me and they said, well, you're going to play with the policeman. I was really disappointed because I wanted to be one of the people that got their throats slashed and you know, things like that. And I thought, oh, I guess that's all right. Not realizing it, because I wasn't familiar at all with the story, not realizing the importance of the Blue Man part, that he was basically the man that they hung in effigy and on the cornstalk cross. And yeah, most of the adults that were in the cafe that got killed, I think they were all from the community theater. They were all people that I knew. The little old lady that grabbed her neck, and I knew her. She's passed away since then. But the guy that ran the cafe and got his hand chopped in the meat cutter was from the theater. Yeah, so they were all theater people that I knew. Fritz called me one day to find out the name of, because one of the guys from theater that was cast played the father, and it ended up he had a few speaking lines, so they had to get a hold of him to join AFTRA or something like that. And so that's why he called me to find out his name. And then at that time he told me that my scene, because of the length of the movie, they had to cut several scenes, and mine was one of them that ended up. I was kind of disappointed and surprised when I later on saw promotional pictures of me getting my throat slashed, and it wasn't even in the movie. I guess what surprised me too was the time that's taken in the setup, because the little police office that they set upstairs, I mean, they had to spend hours recreating, bringing stuff in to set up that scene. And you know, for just to have it, all that expense and time, and then it ends up on a cutting room floor. Just that's what surprises me, that the preparation that goes into a scene. Yeah, I remember the day that we shot this. It was like 2 hours of preparation for them to put, you really can't see it in the picture, but they put a prosthetic on my throat with wax and build it up, and then it made it look like a slit was in my throat. And then when they filmed the scene, they spun me around and bent me over the counter, and then with the knife, when he pressed a button, blood would come out the blade end of the knife and then run down my neck. And then of course after the scene they would have to clean me up, because they shot it like 4 or 5 different times. And then when they did it, I would have to slide off the counter onto the floor. Yeah, this was filmed at the old, I think it was the Illinois Central Depot. It was deserted at the time, and they shot one of the scenes with Peter Horton and the boy on the main floor here. There was like a curved counter that they were stalking in front of it. I don't remember what they were doing there. And then our scene was shot upstairs in one of the offices. They converted it to make it look like a small town police station. It's a really, really good movie, and you got to watch it, because I do appear in the movie later on as a skeleton. I had to lose a lot of weight for that role, though. Since the release, and it's been so long ago, I've watched the movie several times, and every time I watch it, I think, well, I'm disappointed that I'm not in it, but it's exciting to see the people that I knew from the city in the community theater in the movie and taking part in it. But like I say, every time I do watch it, there's little twinges of disappointment that I didn't end up in it.